The picture came at 2:14 a.m., grainy, flashlit. My daughter, standing in front of a peeling wall, mascara smeared, fear in her eyes. A sign above her head spelled out the name of a brothel I'd burned into memory during my years overseas. The message followed seconds later. She has a new job now. I didn't rage. I didn't scream. I stared at the phone, silent. Then I typed a single line. I was the CIA's top interrogator for 15 years. You have 2 hours to bring her back, or you won't see today's sunset. He replied with laughter, and the clock began ticking. The Mafia boss thought this was leverage, a hostage, a bargaining chip. But he'd chosen the wrong daughter. Not because she wasn't my weakness, she was. She was the only thing that kept me tethered to this fragile illusion of civilian life. He thought weakness meant hesitation. He thought I would fold, kneel, negotiate. He didn't understand what years in the dark had carved into me. I had spent half my life watching men break. Not soldiers, not spies, fathers, husbands, men who swore they'd never talk, men who sold out their families for one glass of water. I knew exactly what leverage was. I knew exactly how it worked, and I knew how to snap it in half. I didn't move like a man in panic. I moved like a man in rehearsal. The garage floor opened. My old cases, sealed and untouched, slid free. No guns, no bombs. I didn't need them. Files, maps, names. Every weakness I had cataloged during the years I spent breaking enemies in rooms that smelled of blood and ammonia. His brothel was one of many. Each one had an entry point, a blind spot, a routine. And each man guarding them had habits, gambling debts, drug habits, mistresses tucked into cheap apartments. I hadn't forgotten a single detail. Memory is a weapon sharper than steel. One call here, a message there, a favor cashed, a photograph forwarded. By the first hour, his empire was coughing blood. By the second, it was choking. The call came before the deadline. His voice was ragged, stripped of arrogance. My men, all my men are dead. The brothel, it's gone. Please, mercy. I didn't answer right away. I let the silence stretch. I let him hear the weight of it. Because mercy was a currency I no longer carried. I thought of my daughter's eyes in that photograph. Wide, trapped. I thought of every interrogation room I had ever stood in, watching men like him claw at their own lies until the walls closed in. He wasn't begging me. He was begging the inevitable. When I finally spoke, my voice was steady. You called me. That's my mercy. He stammered, tried to offer money, alliances, silence. I cut him off with 4 words. She's already home now. His breath hitched. Confusion, fear. He realized too late what I'd done. That while he was busy watching his empire burn, I had already taken back what mattered. I didn't need his death. Death was clean, quick, too kind. I needed him to live in the ashes. To wake every morning knowing a ghost dismantled his kingdom with nothing but memory and silence. I sat in the dark when my daughter returned. She rushed into my arms, shaking, whispering apologies she didn't need to make. I held her, but my eyes stayed fixed on the shadows beyond her shoulder, because I knew what came next. Retaliation. Scraps of men with nothing left to lose. But that didn't matter. I had crossed back into who I used to be. The man she never really knew. The man I swore I'd buried. He forced me to exhume him. Now I am awake again. And when men like me wake, the world remembers what it fears. I was never asking for mercy. I was writing his obituary.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.